Hello everyone, hello everyone. It is me, just me, Audrey Elaine. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified of when a journal is up and posted for you guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get like a good angle tonight. Okay, so I'm going to say the date. Today is Friday. No, Saturday. Oh my goodness, Saturday, March 14th, 2021. And the time now is 7:31. Um, I would say today's journal process was amazing. And the reason why I say that because today I had no true idea of what my journal was going to be. Sometimes I get it like first thing in the morning. But today I didn't. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So I'm just going to sit in it and write whatever comes, God comes. But I just thank you. And more so because of the fact that I, this morning, was just like, you guys know I have on the back of my chair how I wrote on the seat, I know you are here, God. And I was praying for some wisdom and some insight and more of Him and me. And truly, really didn't pay it any attention until I came home. Like, I got to get more into studying. I need more of, you. So, and I've been home. I mean, I've been home, but I don't want to do like this fast journal. I needed to actually sit and do more, you know, of getting him inside of me. So it just kept bringing me back to knowledge and um, wisdom. So I'm like, okay, I'm praying for it, but I didn't necessarily, I don't know if I wanted that to be a journal process for tonight, but it ended up being that because of the fact you can't go and ask God for something and then when it keeps coming back up, I don't want to blame it like He kept bringing it up, like He kept bringing it up and bringing it to me, but it just kept coming up for me. So tonight when I got home, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do just write in my book because it has topics that you can kind of write in. So it was having one of I'm on like the third one, and it's a dear God letter, and it's a this is what how I describe myself. Uh, this is how I describe myself right now, and right now I put stronger, willing, wanting to be ready and used for you, loving and wanting you to know and wanting to know you more and complete, um, open for learning. So it's like basically what I did was I wrote like a letter if I was being employed. So like a letter of what I bring to the table for God. And I would suggest that you should do that too. Trust me. I mean, I wrote a lot, a letter basically of what I bring to the table. And He knows. But I want to say that this process was good because it helped me with where I am now. And it's going to possibly have, I don't know, I don't like to read in ahead of things. But even if it doesn't have where later everything that I wrote as what I bring and what I have to the table, I'm also where I mark the date that if it doesn't come up, I'm gonna like write something within like a 3 month period. So we're going to say what 3 months from now that is going to be September, October, November 12th. I mean November 14th. I will be writing another letter of where I am. Um, so I suggest you guys do that too for you, and just see your growth, and see, because I'm not going to base it of what I'm going to learn within it. I base it off what I know now and what I bring now to the table. I already know that it's going to be something totally different come November 14th. I know, because one main thing I put in here is willing to learn, ready to be used, wanting to know you more completely. Like that, ready to learn. We got to be ready to learn. So that made me really click into knowledge. So of course, I look it up. But before I even went to go look it up, after my letter that I wrote to him, it moves on to good company. And um, it's up to us whether or not we let the worst or the best get to us. So we can choose that. So we have to make sure we are always choosing the best. And I always say, the best is the blessed. That's the blessed in us. So we want the best. We have to have our minds made up that we want the best, and we want to go forth in that with gaining knowledge. So that's what all it's the mind, the mind, the mind. We have to go forth in knowing that we want knowledge, because the more we put, having a made up mind is making sure that we stay deep rooted in God, learning His Word, having His Word up in us, and that knowledge and insight, and of course, you know, being willing to learn and be corrected. So that good company is the company we're going to keep, with making sure not only one, we have God, He's with us all the way, but ask Him to place people with us that will help us along the way. Remember the sharpeners, because that's how we know how to sharpen back. So then it got into insecurities is often rooted in fear. What and who are you most afraid of? And of course, I put God, I'm afraid of you. I am. And that's that respect. Like I just said yesterday, that's that respect. And then I put being alone without my children. And then I put, I don't know. I don't know really what I fear outside of that. I fear and respect them both. I fear and respect God, and I fear that I don't want to lose Him. I want to make sure I'm living a path and walking the path He needs me. So not living the path, but yeah, living on the path He has me on. I don't want to lose Him. And then I wrote my children. I don't want to be alone. So that be alone is being without my children. I want to make sure that we have a binding, real relationship. And then I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know what else am I supposed to fear. Because I don't. Those are my two. Fearing and losing God, and being alone with God, not even like there, and then my children. They mean a lot to me. All of them. God and my children. So it's the five. Him and then my children. So I had to go and start looking up the three, knowledge. Because I end up going to help my son kind of get the kitchen together, and end up finding a candle that I bought some time ago that my son lit, but I end up blowing it out because when we leave in the house, I don't like leaving candles lit. I blow it right out. And it was just sitting on the table under, like, around my fruit basket. And I picked it up like, oh, here's a candle. I don't even have to go get another one to light tonight, because I have my whole, like, candle aromas. I love candles. I do. And as I'm lighting the candle, I go to lift it up, and on the candle it says wisdom and intelligence. And I'm like, okay, God, now I get it. Now I get it. Like, all right, so I'm already looking up knowledge, but now it's wisdom and intelligence. And it's like, one, it clicked as I started reading the definition for it. But on the candle, it says this: know yourself. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering yourself is power. And I was like, okay, God, wow. Then I looked it up of knowledge. And knowledge is of the fact of condition of being aware of something, of having information or being learned. So knowledge is being learned, like being learned. Information slash wisdom. So then I was like, okay, wow, that's powerful in its own. And then it clicked to me because I'm like, wow, all of this stuff, I truly be like, that's knowledge. The fact that you want to even look and read more into this, that's knowledge within itself. Because the fact of you're being aware of something, you're being aware that you need more knowledge. So here it is, you are looking up the definitions of knowledge. So that's having the information, and now you're being learned. It's being learned. It's being learned because you want it. That's knowledge within itself. So then I was like, you know what? Now I'm going to look up wisdom. And I thought it didn't have wisdom in my Bible. So I seen wise first. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take wise because wise is wisdom. And I wrote it. But wisdom was in there. It was just, I couldn't see it because I had already had this book kind of laying over it. So I looked them both up. So now I'm going to read wise. Wise, marked by deep understanding, keen discernment, and a capability for sound judgment. Just awesome. Just awesome. A deep understanding, keen discernment. I've been praying and asking God for discernment, and a lot of things have been coming up. Man, I see things different now when I can truly ask you for discernment, and then you like, I view them and see them different. So I had where I was looking this up and just being marked by that, understanding and discernment and a capability for sound judgment. I told you guys a while ago, I had went up for prayer, and Pastor had prayed for me to have like a sound mind. I did not know what that was. Call it the craziest thing ever. I'm being truthful here. I did not know what a sound mind was. I thought a sound mind was basically, you know, you're telling me to be silent or something. I can't even tell you that was true. I did not know what a sound mind was. I literally had to ask my first lady, like, what is a sound mind? Like, what is that? And now I look back and I'm like, thank you, God, that was something He prayed for me. That I would have a sound mind. Because I see things totally different. That's that discernment of knowing that, one, is this really worth me going into? Is it not? Is it real? But more importantly for me, the discernment of God. You take it. For God, I don't even know how to handle it, so I'm asking you to take it from me. That's discernment. Because I may not know how to handle it, but I do know how to come and ask you to. So as I'm going to write, I end up having to stand up and my book fell a little bit. And then when I came back for my Bible, I seen wisdom. And wisdom is knowledge, insight, and judgment, which is all it is. It's all of it. It's all of the definition. All of the definitions that I looked up. Knowledge. It goes back into knowledge for wisdom. Insight. Insight is basically wise and wisdom. So I thank God for it. And here it is, I can say, I have it in learning more and more about it every day. Guys, we definitely got to make sure we are staying in God's word. That knowledge that we get from reading his word and actually applying it into our lives. And when I say into, it's a daily process of it. We have to make sure we are doing it daily. It holds some truth for us. It helps us really live when we are keeping it in our minds day to day, day to day, day to day. And a lot for me today has been moment by moment because things have been coming up. It's like for me, praying for knowledge, it was like if you get a hold of knowledge, because if we can get a hold of knowledge and a sound mind and actually reading God's word, that's us. That the new beginnings happen. New things happen for us. Things are always happening. When we start getting that discernment of breaking down God's word and actually getting it deep rooted in us, man, that throws a lot of things off whack. Because it's okay when we living in a crazy kind of mindset and we going off of our own thinking and judgment and how we perceive things. It's like, okay, yeah, people don't understand, or the enemy doesn't, they like that. It thrives them. It makes them go more. But when you get a sound mind, then that knowledge flows in and that wisdom is there. And you can start seeing things with that discernment for what it actually is. It's not worth me going into. So I'm finding out that we have knowledge. We have wisdom. We have that power over it all. Because the power is discernment for us. I will truly say that's judgment. We'll be able to judge this is not something we need to do. Yeah. How is it? I had to say to myself after I was writing all of this down, I had to write, here it is, God, I am praying to you, asking you to give me something that I already have. That's why I'm going to continue asking you to make sure that it stays in me continuously. That I don't just sit there and say, oh, I have it. Nope, I want it to be a continuous thing. Repetition. So I'm going to keep on reading it and I'm going to keep on making sure I am applying it in my life. That's what we have to do. Don't get caught up on, oh, I have it because I read it once and it stayed deep rooted in me. The only way things stay deep rooted in you is if you are actually applying them and using them day to day in your life. Repetition goes a long way. We have to keep on. Don't never feel like we had enough. How is it that you always may figure that you have enough learning and knowledge when you're living a day to day thing every day? You always, I know for me, I'm learning stuff every day. And especially now that I'm learning who I am, it's a day to day process. I don't want to ever feel like, oh, I got Audrey Lane under the wire. I got who I am. Yep, I know who I am. Nope. Because I'm learning things that I like literally last week. I may not like, or I like something different. I'm trying different things every day just so I can be like, okay, I want to know who I am. And it's okay if I find out I try something and don't like it. But I also tell myself, be open that because you didn't like it then, don't necessarily mean you won't like it at another time. So, and mind you, when I say that, these are all things like food, drinks, good things, not things of destruction. I don't want to go on destruction. We can't go there. Mm-mm. But I'm telling you, God has a way of revealing himself more and more to us every day when we are truly wanting to build a relationship in him and with him. I'm telling you. And the reason why I'm giving you power last is because I want you to kind of sink in more with the knowledge. We have to be reading God's word. A lot of my videos, I kind of look back in my journal process, and I will always say, oh, I need to be more into your word, God. I make sure that I do daily. I'm not sitting here telling you to read the Bible all together, all through. I wanted to start in Genesis, and I did. At the beginning of this year, I'm like, oh, I'm going to read Genesis and then go to the end. No, I'm finding out for me, I jump within it, but I keep his word in me. I keep it in. I make sure I am learning the process of making sure I am keeping his word in me. It doesn't have to be where I start in Genesis and that's where I have to stay and then go right on over to the next book and then the next book and the next book. No, I want to be able to have it in me. I'm going to learn his word, and it comes time when I go back and jump over. But right now, I'm making sure I'm gaining all the knowledge I need. Sometimes I know the other day, one of my favorite books is Psalms and Proverbs. Mainly because I would want to say Psalms is the book of David just singing out some his life. Singing out some real things, and it's something. Yeah, it's something. In Proverbs, man, I can't sit up here and tell you really if I have. I don't know yet if I have a favorite book. I don't know. Mm, I don't know. But I want to be able to read more of it. It's a book for me that never gets old. I was saying not that long ago, it was like the best selling book ever, like #1 book. No more Bibles are, well, only the Bible, but no more books sell more than the Bible. Yeah, yeah, that's power right there. So that's going to lead me to why I kind of put power last. Also, because you don't want to get caught up on having crazy power. You want to make sure that your power is for good. Your power is great. And more so, that power is actually getting the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding. That's power right there. So power is the ability to act or produce an effective possession of control. The ability um, with authority and influence of others. So it actually, I think I read two of them together back to back. So I'm going to do power, the ability to act or produce an effective possession of control. Authority, so that was one. Authority or influence over others, that's another one. Then here go one more. Physical, might, mental, or moral effective, and controlling a group. So that's a couple of them. But we want to make sure that with power, we have the knowledge and the understanding. Because you can have power and ability to act or produce and be effective. That's great. That's great. Then you can have power and possession and control. Man, that one for me was kind of like, help me to make sure that that control is all the control of emotions for me, the control and the ability of making sure I am doing things how you want me to do them, God. That great kind of power, not that power that goes to my head, not that power that is like, oh, she's in power, so let me play her and be easy, let me easily influence her. No, that's where we gotta have great discernment. That's power right there. Then I'm going to read the other one. the authority or influence over others. We got to make sure that we don't have that kind of power that we sit there and tear people down, that we have such a strong hold on them, that we have the power, because power, we can have the ability to affect them in goodness and greatness, or we can affect them in bad. And we don't want that kind of power where I hold power over someone to the point that they collapse, they buckle, they fold. That's not good. So I had to tell myself, you want to have power of love, discernment. You don't want the authority. Oh, it's mine, so we gonna do it how I wanted to do. Mm-mm. No, that's not good. Then we have, where I kind of read it for what it was: power, physical might, which is good. That's strength. We gotta build our muscle up. We gotta have that. Then the power of mental or morals. Hmm. So we do have power over our mental and power over morals. We do. We can choose not to get involved in that craziness. We can choose not to let mental things get to us. And remember, I said, get a therapist if you need a therapist. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You don't know how to deal with your mental, be honest with yourself and get right to a therapist. You know, if you need a good therapist, try Psychology Today. Psychology Today. It has where you can get it for everyone, not just you. They have Christian based, non-Christian based, every kind of base, family, singles, all of that. You can get it there, all there, and that's a good thing. Then we have controlling. We don't want to be controlling. That was kind of what I kind of spoke about, that influence. We don't want to have the controlling. But how I also looked at it is, power is so good. We can control ourselves with the fact of saying what is real, what is not real, that discernment. Nope, nope, no. So I am saying to God, that wisdom and that knowledge that I'm praying and asking you to give me, I thank you so much, because it's already here for me. That power is already here for me. So God, you help me with it every day, a day-to-day thing, for it not to get to my head. And when I say not to get to my head, I'm not talking about in bad ways. For my head not to be, always going in circles about it. I have knowledge. So God, you're going to give me discernment in it all of it, all of it. It's like so running together for us. It so runs together for us. So I thank Him in the process of it all. Man, I know tonight was a lot, but I want you to truly know how much knowledge and power that you have. You hold it. Hold it well. Walk in it well. Ask God to give you humility through it all. Because with wisdom, He gives us humility, and then we're able to actually have the discernment in all of it. It seems like a lot of information coming to you. I know it was a lot for me tonight. So if it seems like it's a lot for you guys tonight, go with it. Look it up on your own. Look up everything on your own for it. Because knowledge is power, wisdom. All of it ties together. All of it ties together. The intelligence of it all ties together. So it's not a bad thing for us. That's why I was saying, like, man, God, here it is. I'm praying and asking you for something that you literally broke down and gave it to me. So I was like, should I even say this? Should I even, put it out? But I was like, yeah, I got to. I got to. Because it was like, man, it's a process. It's my journal process for me. It's real. It's real. So I wouldn't want it any other way. but to come and make sure I am real. My notes tonight have so many things going on. And man, the breakdown of them all was so powerful for me, because I want to make sure that I am getting everything from him. The knowledge of reading his word. Man, when I tell you, I thought back a while ago that I was living a life with him and everything. No, I truly wasn't. Having what I have with him now, all I can say is to myself, Audrey-Elaine, look out, there's more to come. There's more to come. Giving yourself to him, man, best thing you could have ever done. The best thing you have ever done. So you notice I said the best thing you could have ever done, and then the best thing you ever done was giving myself to him. And I am seeing so much clearer now. Give yourself truly to him. Things will be coming to you like this, and you'll be like, wow, man, I don't think I ever studied so much in my life. Yeah, I don't think I have. Sitting here being honest and real with him. Why tell a lie like he don't even know you? You don't think he'll get it? You don't think he'll call you out? Yeah, he'll call you out. Man, that's knowledge right there. And why I say that's knowledge right there? Because we want to make sure that we are always being corrected by him when we're doing something. When we're doing something, he'll correct us in that openness. We'll know when he'll telling us this isn't right. Do this like this. We'll know. Because I was like, okay, I wanted to get my journal done a little bit earlier, but no, let me go shopping first. And I was like, yeah, no, what comes first is making sure, one, you pray to him and ask him how he wants you to do it. And then once that happened, it was like, okay, shopping can wait, market might close, whatever might close, but it's still another day. So go on. When I tell you tonight was just a spoonful of everything, of knowledge, man, I so appreciate God. I truly do. I love him. And the reason why I say it, because he loves me for who I am. He gives me everything he needs me to have. You would think with all that's ever been on in my life and going on in my life, that, man, sometimes I've been like, thank you, God, that you saw fit that when I came to you, you was already ready. You received me with open arms. God, I thank him. So you guys have a good one. You do, have a good one. Let all of this sit down on you. You guys know I love you. Make sure you are loving yourself. And more importantly, love God first. Love yourself and love others. I thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. Just be Audrey-Elaine. Make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified of when a journal process is up. Thank you for just being your God-given wonderful name. You guys, lift your hands and say Jesus. Go with God, and I will be back on with you guys, God willing, tomorrow. Yeah, I love you. Have a wonderful evening, and I will be back on soon. All right, bye now.